Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Voice Coffee Break series. I'm your host James Poulter, JP to most people, the CEO and one of the co-founders at Vixen Labs. This thing. Hope you're doing well on this Monday, which traditionally speaking in the marketing and PR calendar, which is about the only place that probably really cares or keeps track of these things, is Blue Monday, usually known as being the kind of saddest day of the year, the third Monday of the year as we kind of get back into the swing of a new year. And it's usually the day where also people give up on most of their New Year's resolutions. Usually the things that we've all thought that we were going to pluck up the courage to do, the things we wanted to change, the things we wanted to start, stop, or completely forget about in the future and do something new with. And usually today, on Monday, the Blue Monday, is the date that usually we give up on most of those things, and probably that breeds a lot of self-doubt, fear, sadness, and loneliness. But this year, of course, is very different to any other year, for a couple of reasons. 12 months on from the start of the coronavirus pandemic, and I say 12 months on because obviously COVID was circulating in certain parts of the world already by this stage of the year, we begin to feel that sense of anniversary, not for the right reasons. 12 months on from where we started, we have all of a sudden found ourselves back in lockdown for many of us, those of us that are in the UK. Where I am here in London, we're back on full national lockdown. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from to let us know what conditions are like where you are. And the fact that we've gone a full 12 months means that this anniversary feels somewhat more upsetting or disturbing or just tiring than many other places might have done. But the second reason as well is that we've started a new year with a lot of good intentions, perhaps with New Year's resolutions, trying to fight back. And of course, we've started the year very differently than many of us had hoped. In the US, we've seen lots of completely crazy scenes. Here in the UK, we've also been dealing with this major change in some very depressing statistics around what's happening with COVID deaths and infection rates, and we're still seeing the peak of that in the next few days. So it's a weird time, of course, but I wonder this afternoon whether or not we can think about some ways that we can help solve some of these problems, maybe make ourselves feel a bit better about the situation, and perhaps whether or not voice and conversational tech can maybe help us get some of that done. So I want to share with you 3 suggestions, and I would love to hear in the comments on LinkedIn or YouTube Live or wherever you're watching this, your suggestions as well as how conversational tech can help us get through it. So if you've got a comment, please do drop it below while you're watching here, and I'll be sure to share a couple of those as we go through this chat over the next couple of minutes. My first real suggestion is that you can be using things like reminders and notifications on your devices to help you stay up to date with all of those things that when we're feeling a little bit down or when we are suffering with this kind of locked down way of working that can often go by the wayside. One of the biggest things that we can do is double down on keeping the spaces that we live in clean and refreshed, and kind of staying on top of maybe tidying up or cleaning out the house, or just generally kind of feeling with a bit of purpose. They say that idea of kind of tidy desk, tidy mind. So one of my recommendations for you this week is to use your notifications and reminders on your devices to set a recurring alert or alarm or reminder, depending on what device you're using, to keep you up to speed with things like cleaning, things like kind of clearing out your unnecessary junk from your inbox. That might be your digital clutter, it might be your physical clutter, it might be the stuff around the house. One of the things that if you're in the US you could do is use one of the skills we built last year before COVID for our clients over at Reckitt Benckies, the Lysol skill, which has weekly and daily reminders if you want for cleaning routines around the house. Just go say, Alexa, open Lysol, and you can give that a go. Or maybe use one of your devices like your Google Assistant or your Siri to set a regular reminder on a certain day of the week, perhaps on a Monday at this time of the day, to just get up and kind of make sure you've cleared out, clear the trash, clean the kitchen, whatever it is. Do something physical to help you remember that we can get through this. The second thing that you can be trying is one of the many different skills and actions out there that helps with things like mindfulness and just taking a moment to pause and to breathe. And one of the things that I've found really useful to use is the Headspace app, which again is available on Google Assistant and also on Alexa, or just use one of their short form podcast content pieces which exist over on Spotify. You can use like the Daily Radio from headspace. Calm also have some great features that you can also activate with your voice through the Calm app on both of your devices. So use this moment now as we finish up this video to maybe just take a couple of minutes to take a moment to just chill out, reflect, or find something relaxing or calming to watch with one of your screens or devices. Often during the day when I'm working from home, I've got a spare display over there and a Google display, and I try and use that to have either kind of calming focus music. So maybe find your favorite focus playlist or something like that you can just have playing in the background and know what that invocation is. So when you're feeling yourself slipping, maybe when you're feeling yourself needing that little boost, that you know exactly what those utterances are that you need to say to your devices to just give you that little pick-me-up or perk. And the third thing is use your voice to find something great to watch. One of the things that I've loved doing since I had the HomePods brought into the living room is to use those connected to my Apple TV to just quickly jump into a show, find something really easy, just for that 20 minutes over a lunch break or something like that to feel kind of picked up. I've been personally rewatching all of Seinfeld because I never really watched it when it first came out. I saw the odd episode back in the late 90s, but now it's kind of back out on Amazon Prime or Channel 4 and you can watch all of it again. So find something to watch. One of the other bits of news that came out over this past weekend is that YouTube have now also enabled voice controls on your desktop. So if you're using Chrome browser, or I've got, for example, the voice control on the controller of the PS5, you can just click in and search with your voice on YouTube. And that can be really helpful to just find something new, kind of say a couple of keywords that you might want to use. One of the things that we find at this time of the year, and particularly because we've all been locked in for so long, is that we aren't able to get out and about as much as we would like. Some people have been reporting, actually it came up in our meeting this morning with the team here at Vixen, that our dreams have kind of gotten a bit more wild since the start of the lockdown, because actually we're spending a lot more time at home, we're not getting that outdoor visual stimulus. So one of the things that I recommend you go try and check out is that there are hundreds and hundreds of different walking videos and scenic routes, both from drone camera footage as well as people walking along with a gimbal at floor level through different cities around the world. There's a couple of channels, one in particular I recommend called Scenic Relaxations on YouTube, that has got some great footage of different scenic scenes from around the UK and around the world that you can just go and put on in the background and take a moment to get into something new. Perhaps you want to go find a new YouTuber or someone new to follow. Maybe go and do something that feels positive at this time of the year by donating to one of your favourite creators on Patreon or something like that. My personal recommendation is following the Minimalists over on Patreon and sponsoring their podcast, because it gives just something back to a community that a lot of people have got a lot of value from. So conversational tech, I think it definitely can help us get through the lockdown. It's a way of helping us go back to our regular routines and reminders and not falling to the wayside. Finding something relaxing and peaceful moments, being able to just have that conversation, and also gets us using our voices in a different way than just talking into another Zoom call. It gets us actually active and speaking out loud and using our ears, using our voices to get connected with our technology, not always having to consume everything through another screen, which often can be a massive source of anxiety, and it can kind of rile our depression, and it can also make us feel kind of very fixed in one location. So feel free to get up and wander around when this video finishes. Ask your devices for something new. Maybe set a reminder for a habit that you've let go to the wayside, and let's try and get through the rest of Blue Monday and the rest of lockdown together by using our devices and tech to get us through. So that was a couple of thoughts for this week's Voice Coffee Break. Hope you found that helpful. Would love your comments and suggestions below. And I also love any suggestions of things you want me to cover in future Voice Coffee Breaks. Or if you want to come on and have a conversation with me, I've got the interview feature set up right now, so I'd love to be able to hear from some of you. So drop your suggestions in the comments below here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you're watching. And I look forward to catching up with you on another one of these episodes next week. Stay safe. Have a not blue Monday, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.